All right, let's take a closer look at the Bharathiyar Institute of Engineering for Women, located in Salem. Now, if you're gearing up for TNEA counseling, the code you'll need to remember is 2643.
You know, what's really interesting is where this college gets its spirit. It's inspired by a famous line from the great Tamil poet Mahakavi Subramania Bharathiyar, Kanavu me pada vendum, which means, let the dream come true. That's a pretty powerful mission to have, right?
So, let's peel back the layers. What's this college all about at its core? Okay, so here's the breakdown. This is a self-financing college, and it's exclusively for women. It was started back in 2008 and is affiliated with Anna University in Chennai. But what's really key here is their mission. They're focused on bringing top-notch technical education to women, particularly those coming from rural backgrounds. And a very important point for all you aspiring students and parents, getting in is purely through TNEA counseling.
Now, this is something you'll definitely want to pay attention to, especially parents. The seats are split. You have 65% under the government quota, and the remaining 35% are for the management quota. It's a pretty standard split you see in self-financing colleges.
Okay, next up, and this is a big one. Let's talk about the official approvals, because when you're making a decision this huge, trust is everything, right?
So, good news here. The college has its paperwork in order. They've got the green light from AICTE for the 2025-26 academic year, which is absolutely crucial. On top of that, they're a valid NAC-accredited institution. Think of these as the essential stamps of approval you should be looking for.
All right, let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the engineering programs. What are your options if you're looking to join in 2026? So the total number of seats they have approval for is 420. This number kind of gives you a feel for the size of the college. Not too big, not too small. Let's break down those seats. You can see they're really leaning into the hot fields right now. They've got a whopping 120 seats for artificial intelligence and data science, and another 120 for computer science. Plus, you've got EEE and ECE with 60 seats each. And look at this, a dedicated cybersecurity branch. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, the IT branch, with 60 seats, is listed as approval pending. So just make sure you double-check its final status when you're going through your TNEA choices. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about what's probably on everyone's mind, placements, right? This is the return on investment. What happens after the 4 years?
So let's start with the big headline number. Based on their official data, the median salary is 3.6 lakhs per annum. And they've hit this mark in 2 of the last 3 years, which shows some consistency. And this chart, wow, it tells a really strong story. We're looking at data the college itself submitted for NIRF. For the 2020-21 batch, 88% placement. Then it jumps to 95% for the next batch, and for the most recent one, 87%. I mean, these are very consistent numbers. We're talking about placing almost 9 out of every 10 students year after year.
Let's dive a little deeper into those numbers. So for the 2022-23 batch, 116 out of 133 students got placed, with a median salary of 2.88 lakhs. The year before that, it was 157 placed out of 166, with that 3.6 lakh median salary. And the year before that, pretty similar, 153 placed out of 174, again with a 3.6 lakh median. It's really good to see this level of detail. It helps you make a much more informed choice. Okay, so we've covered the academics and the job prospects, but what about, life on campus? What's the environment like? What kind of support is there for the students? Well, for starters, let's talk about the teachers. According to the latest data, 17 faculty members have a PhD. That's a solid number, and it tells you there's a good amount of academic depth and expertise on campus. Now, for parents, I know these next details are super important. Yes, there is a hostel, the Bharathiyar Hostel, exclusively for girls, right there on campus. It has 100 rooms and, crucially, 24/7 security. The mess caters to both veg and non-veg preferences. And getting there, they have a college transport facility, and it's just about 3 kilometers away from the Thalaivasal railway station. So, logistics are pretty well sorted. What about the fees? Well, there's some good news on that front. The college helps students get access to a whole range of government scholarships. You can see the list here, from SC/ST scholarships, BC/MBC scholarships, the First Graduate Scholarship, all the way to central government schemes for minorities and OBC students. This can make a huge difference for many families. And here's a neat little fact that points towards their focus on innovation. The college has a published patent to its name, which was recorded in 2022.
It's always a good sign when an institution is involved in creating new things. Just so you know, all the information we've talked about today is based on data we've gathered from the college's own official website and from trusted government portals, and we've made sure it's current as of April 2026. So as you continue to figure out the best fit for you, remember to explore more engineering colleges at profsam.com. It really is your true source for making those big decisions from 12 to engineering.